All right, so now if you did your survey in forms, you're going to have an easier time getting the information into the spreadsheet because there's actually a place that you can just click that'll open it right up into Excel for you, and then we're just going to do some editing to it. All right, so this is if you did your survey in Microsoft Forms only. All right, if you didn't do it in Microsoft Forms, this won't work. So I'm going to go to my Office 365 account. So let me bring up the correct page here. Oops. So Office 65, and I have to go into here to get my form because that's where I did it. So I'm going to click this sign in button here, which is the guy with the plus. Okay, so over here on this menu on the left, down at the bottom, usually is where it is. It's got an F for forms. Okay, and then here is my survey that I made on the other video. How many pairs of shoes do you own? So I click on it. When I open this form up, now it's going to have information. So it tells me I have 18 responses. I remember you're going to want 100 before you are done with your survey. And you don't want to you can do this more than once to kind of see how it's going. You can come in here. I'm going to show you some things that you can click on. So that's my survey. I can edit it. Be careful, because if I click on something and retype it, it's going to change what it says. If I click on responses, it gives me some information. It tells me there's 18 responses, how long it took people to complete. Okay, and then it says it's still active. I can click this. I can delete things. I can print a summary. I can create a summary link. Nothing you're going to want to do. All right. It's going to tell me the last few things that happened here, last few answers to the questions. It gives me like a pie chart for, anything that's multiple choice, okay? And then it gives me that. So all that stuff is good. If you click on View Results, it will let you go through them individually and see what each individual person gave you, okay? But that's not incredibly helpful. Right here, it says Open in Excel. All right, so I want to open this in Excel. So I'm going to click Open in Excel. And then what it's going to do is it's going to open, actually it's going to download, I bet. It's going to download an Excel file right here. All right, it's going to download an Excel file right onto this spot. All right, so it downloaded it. It's in my Downloads folder. What I'm going to do is click on this little arrow, and I'm going to click Open. And that way it'll open that Excel file for me. So I'm going to click Open. It will open up the Excel file with all of the data in there from each survey. All right, so here is all of my data that's been given to me for the information for the survey. Okay, now it'll be read only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable editing. All right, so that I can edit this and save it and stuff. So I enable editing. First thing I'm going to do is save this. So I'm going to hit File and then Save As. Okay, then where am I going to save it? I'm just going to click this thing right here. Just click on that so I can go to the right spot. So I'm going to go to my OneDrive. All right, hopefully you have an IV Math folder. And then if you don't have an Exploration Project folder, right click over here in the space between the scroll bar and that, and click New and click Folder. All right, I already have an Exploration Project. So I'm going to put shoe survey data for project, or give it some sort of name. But make sure you know where it is so that we can come back to this. So I'm going to hit Save. All right. Now, again, don't do this till you have all the data that you need, because I can enter this stuff in by hand now. All right. So it's going to give me an ID, a start time, a completion time, an email address, which it won't collect. So we made this anonymous. It's going to be a name, again, anonymous, so it won't collect. I don't want any of this stuff. So I'm going to, up on the column heading, I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to right click anywhere in that column and click delete, because I don't need that. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. Now what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to hold down on A, and I'm going to go over to the columns I don't want. So I just held down and dragged over to D. I'm going to right click down here and click delete. All right, so now I have the information I want. So a couple of things to look at here. You're going to have data, and this is why it's important to get as much data as you can. All right. After I made this survey, I thought about it, and I thought this is going to be bad because people are going to type in things like this. Okay, how many pairs of sneakers do you have? 15-ish. Okay, how many pairs of shoes do you own? 20 to 30. okay, around 10, okay, 100 plus, all right? So some of this data may not be incredibly useful for me, all right? So if there's some data, so I'm going to use this one here. This is one that I put in there. This person said, how many pairs of shoes do you own? Negative 100, okay? What is your current age? 576, all right? How many pairs of sneakers? This is clearly a survey that someone did just to be a jerk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that survey. So I'm going to click on the row, make sure it's all highlighted in, and then I'm going to right click and click delete, and it's going to delete that. Now, when I write my paper, I'm going to say I got a certain number of surveys that were just people giving bad information of answers that weren't possible answers, and I'm going to delete that. The rest of this stuff I have to think about. You know, what am I going to do in this situation? All right, they say 25 to 20 to 30. Okay, do I take the middle number? To me, I'm going to say, okay, you know what? That's 25. All right, for what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 25 in there. And again, I'm going to talk about this in my paper, that I had some people that gave me ranges that I didn't want because my questions maybe weren't perfect. So if they gave me a range, I took the average of that range. Okay, this person answered their age in months, all right, even though it says years. So I would take that and turn it into years, okay? Around 10, all right? Do I take 10 and just say, all right, well, that's 10, okay? I put 10 in there. These are decisions I have to make when I do this, and I want to make sure I have a good amount of data to put in there. This person put 100 plus. Now, maybe that says to you right now, I can't use that. All right, but it depends. Are you doing correlation coefficient? Because if you are, maybe you can't use that. But if you're doing a chi-squared project where you're comparing the gender to that, it's going to be in a range anyways, and that's going to be in your top range no matter what. So don't automatically eliminate data from this, okay? Once I get this stuff in here, I do want to rename this sheet. I'm going to rename this sheet by double-clicking on it down there, and I'm going to type in raw data. This is my raw data. All right, where I'm going to get all my surveys from. We're going to have to sample this and do some different things with it, but this is going to get all of the information into one Excel sheet so that we can start working on it, okay? So the good news is if you use forms, you don't have to do as much work as everybody else has to do, okay? The bad news is that you need to wait until the survey is completely done before you make your Excel spreadsheet, because if I try to make a new one, it's going to overwrite this one, all right? So that's how you get your data from forms into the Excel spreadsheet and start working with it a little bit. All right, we'll do some more videos where I show you how to randomly sample the data and do some other things along those lines.